Okay, so I was recently down in Austin training with Victor Hugo and John Danaher. So you guys can go watch some of those other videos, but this is all made possible by the people at Guardian. I was able to travel with them and go not just to Peru, but also here to Austin and get some really good rounds in. So this is Victor's 18-year-old Prodigy, and we had a really good round. Let me break down that first sequence now. Okay, so for those that are new, the technique I just used is called a duck under. Now, what I kind of do here is I wait for my opponent here to grab my right wrist, and as he does that, I win the head position battle, blinding his eyesight a little bit. I'm going to fake out here to the left and open up his right arm just a little bit to really sell me attacking his right leg. As he goes to adjust and position himself and kind of sprawl out a little bit, I'm going to switch to the other side, ducking my head behind his armpit, looking up to his back, and then cutting the corner, getting into that rear body lock. From there, he goes on to post on the floor. I'm going to put my hand behind his tricep, and I kind of have my my other hand posted, or more of a wedge, like straightening my arm through his thigh here. And this kind of gives me a lot of like balance. So I'm able to kind of float my hooks into it. Okay, so now going for this rear naked choke, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to peel off my right arm, and then I'm going to take my right hand and start walking it up his shoulder, crawling until I can just get it over his shoulder, go into a gable grip, and I'm going to use this to first pull my arm backwards and then slide my hand in for the rear naked choke. Now I'm extending through my hips, squeezing with my arms, and I'm able to get the tap here. And we're back. You guys had no idea what just happened, but I started recording this before WNO, and now it is currently after WNO. So if you guys want to go watch the breakdown on that match, it's the video right before this. But anyways, getting back to the match at hand. So I'm going to go for another duck under here. First going for that foot sweep, and now we're going to go for that duck under. Once again, just feinting, going to the left, and then actually cutting up through the right, making sure to swing my right arm open to open up my opponent's left arm here. He gets a good whizzer in and then traps me in close guard with a guillotine. Now, guillotine defense from close guard, in my opinion, is pretty easy. All we're going to do is we're going to stack our hips above our head, tripod up, and this makes it hard for him to bridge into the guillotine, and we can pretty much just last it out until he decides to switch off. So he's initially going to go for a hip sweep here, then tries to enter in a K guard, and then he's going to start attacking a very fundamental move, simply just getting the arm across the body, shrimping out to the left. And now his whole idea is to use his torso to prevent my right arm from coming back across his body. So as the camera pans around here, you're going to see both my arms are trapped on one side. And what he's going to do is he's going to go for a flower sweep. So now that both arms are trapped on one side, I have no post on my right side. So he's going to take an underhook with his right arm under my leg, pendulum his legs over, and go right into mount here. From there, he's going to get a gift wrap, grabbing my right arm, pulling that wrist through my neck as it turns me to my side. And then he's going to lock onto a head and arm choke and then start to work towards the back. But he's going to get the tap right here. Okay, so getting back into it, we're going to start out here in these mercy grips, and I'm going to wait for kind of a specific reaction here. So we're about head to head, and as soon as I feel his head pop up over mine, that's when I know I have the shot. So I'm going to level change, get a little lower, grab that single. He's unfortunately going to counter with that Uchimata. Really good play from him. So I'm going to start off with an over tie here on my left arm. I'm going to go for that foot sweep. He's timing it now. He knows it's coming and he's able to avoid it. I'm immediately shooting back onto a single. And as he locks up on the Kimura grip, I try to rotate all the way around, trying to come up to north-south, but he punches it in towards my stomach and he's able to lock up on this triangle and he gets the second tap of the round. Now wait, just give me 15 seconds. So look, I've partnered up with these people called Guardian Gym. They go all around the world giving kids access to jiu-jitsu. Now where I come in is I'm trying to raise a sum of money to help them in their efforts, building gyms, giving kids skis, rash guards, everything they need to train jiu-jitsu. Now look, you know how much jiu-jitsu has changed your life. I know how much jiu-jitsu has changed mine. So go to the link in the description or givebutter.com/Carsahh and help me change the world with jiu-jitsu. So one thing that's pretty cool in my game and development is I feel like I've been starting to understand the mechanics of wrestling. And I used to think, same with outside passing, I used to think, oh, these guys are just too good. They know too many reactions. I'm never going to be able to catch up. And I feel like I've caught up enough to really understand why things work and how to make them work. So you're going to notice once again, as we're in these mercy grips, his head is going to shift over mine. And mechanically, that is a great opportunity to go for a shot. So that head comes over, I dive my head straight into his chest, knocking him backwards, grabbing his legs. He hits a quick sumigeshi to throw me over, but I lock right back onto the double. And now we're going to go for one of my trademark sequences here. So I use this slash pass, as I call it, going off to his right side as he starts defending. I'm able to hit this duck under. So with that first slash pass, we're dropping the shoulder down onto the top leg as we swing around to the right. Now, one thing I want to talk about with outside passing is resource management. So as I start cutting around to the right side, my opponent has to apply a lot of defensive resources. And a name for one of those resources is called the high leg. So as I start cutting around to the right side, I know he's going to start throwing his top leg over my head in order to defend. And I can counter that by pushing down the bottom leg, using my right arm that's already extended on his hip as a scoop grip and swing around back to his left. Now notice we went to the right and then we went back to the left. So we're constantly going back and forth, switching sides on our opponent. And now that we have a major angle, almost a 90-degree angle on our opponent, now is a good time to hit the north-south pass. So I'm going to go ahead and push that right leg of his away as I dive my hips and head towards his head and circle to north-south. Oh my God, there's an amber alert. Okay, that was annoying. You guys get the idea though. So as we do this, my opponent's going to turtle. Just something we have to be aware of and be able to capitalize on. I'm going to grab that seatbelt grip and I'm going to try to follow him through on that roll and look to get my hooks in. I think right here he's able to escape, getting a 2-on-1 on that wrist and then being able to circle out. And as I try to come up to the top here, this is about when time runs out. But guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this week's video. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to support me and help me support kids all around the world, check out the link in the description, givebutter.com/Carsahh. I'm working with this company called Guardian to help give kids around the world access to jiu-jitsu. You know how much it's changed your life. I know how much it's changed mine. So help me give kids that same opportunity. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.